Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So we're kicking off the trading week by looking at gold and silver as there's been big opportunities in the market. We're seeing gold take another slight dive towards the 1850 handle after the recovery was a little bit short-lived after the big drop-off over a week ago when the NFP and PMI numbers in America were released. Also, we've got silver hitting a 10-week low. The last time we saw this was at the end of November, beginning of December. These prices really starting to weigh down now on the metal, and we're just seeing what is the environment like now for trading these commodities and where the opportunities are. So big moves in the market, which means big opportunities, even if it's on the downside or not. So let's get straight into the charts. Looking on the 4-hour chart, first of all, for gold, not looking on the daily chart because we want to see these intraday opportunities a little bit more. I've had a few requests from our traders looking to see what the actual moves are in the market. Well, let's just take a look. So we're looking at gold, and as I said, this big sell-off that we saw over a week ago with the NFP numbers, as I said, PMI numbers, really big data, and disappointing retail sales data in Europe as well, really weighed down gold because obviously dollar was on a little bit of a high note. And we're seeing that, as I said, this slight bullish channel that we saw really didn't last too long, because we're now seeing that prices, I'll just zoom it in so it's a little bit easier to see, we're seeing prices take another hit out of the channel, and now we're seeing a strong consolidation. The 1850 handle is something that we are keen to have a look at because it is just on the tip here of this kind of false spike that we just saw to the downside as well. So we're seeing a little bit of support at this region. It will be doubtful that we'll drop through that anytime soon. If we do, then that will open the door to a lot more opportunities to the downside. So just keep an eye on that for a little bit of support and obviously the next big move in the market. So the last time we saw this, as I said, was a few weeks ago, but you know, this was quite a bullish resurgence in gold, and then we saw gold obviously move over $100 in that direction. But we're seeing a slight bullish divergence on the RSI as well. So we're seeing prices really start to have a little bit of a slight bias to the upside now, but as I said, after we just dropped off, we're waiting for the next consolidation for gold to see where it will be in the near term as well. So speaking of near term, let's look on the 1-hour chart, because we are seeing now what is more than likely more of a consolidation. Obviously, it's coming into a little bit of a symmetrical triangle here. We are seeing now that prices are just waiting to see where the next move will be. Well, for us, you know, we have to see if we don't break out this upper side, it can consolidate a little bit more until we possibly get that signal. But the signal to 1850 is what we're most likely looking for at the moment to see if there's any further support. If not, as I said, the breakthrough could happen and then we could slide back down to easily 1830, 1820. So this is something we're keeping an eye out for in the near term as well. Obviously, the repercussions of the FOMC NFP numbers have been and gone. We're now waiting for the next set of fundamental results and what else could shake gold as well. So on the other side of the coin, we're looking on silver as well. Again, on the 4-hour chart, don't want to really bring it into the daily chart because, as I said, we've had a lot of our traders asking what the intraday results are going to be. So like I said, after this big sell-off in the market, we'll just pull it back a little bit because I just want to show you the last time we saw these particular levels in the market. And at the moment, as you can see, it was a few months ago. This was going back to the end of November, beginning of December, before we had this big spike up. Lots of consolidation, though, even though we did get this momentum. As you can see, didn't really go anywhere too progressively. We had this very choppy consolidation nature and then another move to the downside. So it's like it kind of, you know, visited some peaks for a while and now it's gone back down to consolidate to where it was before. So this is the momentum we're looking at the moment. And as I said, we're just looking at this as another support roughly around the $22, $21 area for these really big moves in the market. If we look on the 1-hour chart as well, more significantly at the moment, we're just seeing now what the next move could be. As I said, very strong consolidation before this other sell-off, and now we are looking at more bias to the downside. We've had a little bit of a support jump, but then you have to think if it's going to be short-lived or not. As I said, we've got these big spikes in the market from not so long ago. So we'll just be seeing if we can pierce the 22.5 area to start moving even more higher. So just keep an eye out for obviously news in America. Dollar obviously affects gold. It's affecting silver as well at the moment. Obviously both metals are on the downside. The bias is really looking a little bit weaker than it did do before. Not so much heavy divergences on silver than there was on gold. So gold is a little bit more of an easier signal to have a look at. However, just keep an eye on the support levels and check your Fibo charts as well, because these can be important when you're putting in your buys or sells. So join me tomorrow for another video, and we'll see what the next fundamental piece of news is coming out and what charts it's affecting. And obviously we'll take a look at the technicals as well. So thank you very much for joining me today, and have a great trading day ahead. Bye for now.